Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. Agashi here, where I do dramas, reviews, and movies, anything you guys suggest, and do my unboxing of whatever I have out there that I would like to share and show with you guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like. Now let's go ahead and jump into the video. Hello everybody, Agashi here. So today I'm doing another Korean drama review on the drama called The Story of Park's Marriage Contract. It has a total of 12 episodes. I'm shocked. I thought it would be longer, but just 12 episodes. It airs on Friday and Saturday. This is like kind of like the same time coming out the same time my Demon. So I'm like debating on which one to watch, but I'm like, I'm gonna watch both of it because I've seen the trailer and I'm really into all of this right now. This is like my current thing of like fictional demon devil character and like time traveling and all of that. It's like the thing right now, the trend. Everybody likes it. But I'm gonna go over the cast synopsis in the first 2 episodes with you guys. So as for our cast, we have Lee Se-young as Park Yo-woo, and then Park In-hang as Paek In-hang as Kang Tae-ha, Yoo Sung-ho as Kang Tae-min, Oh Yoo-jin as Hong Na-rae, Jin Kyung as Min Hae-sang, and then Joo Hyun-young as Sa-woo, and then Jo Pok-rae as Hong So-pyo, and then Chung Ho-jin as Kang Sang-moon, which is the grandfather, and then we have Kim Yo-jin as Imi-dam, and tons of other people, other secretary, other people worker, parents, other maid, all of that people. So synopsis: in the 19th century, in the Chosun dynasty, on the wedding night, Park Young-woo's husband died after revealing that he suffered from a heart condition for a long time. She's devastated, but before she can even mourn her husband, she gets kidnapped and thrown into a well where the moment she opens her eyes, her husband is in front of her, transcending time, space, and death. She is now in the present day of Seoul, South Korea, and the man who saved her is Kang Tae-ha, who looks exactly like her dead husband in the 19th century. Kang Tae-ha is the successful of SH Seoul Corporation. He does not like opening himself to anybody due to his heart disease and trauma he has as a child. He is like covering all of like emotions, not interest in love, romantic, all of that. And his ill father wishes that he just gets married, and in hopes to make sure his grandfather's wishes come true, he asks Park Young-won to enter into a marriage contract with him to be his bride. So, recap on the first 2 episodes. The drama starts us off in the Chosun dynasty, where we see Cho-ho, who is a master of thread, and she's so well known for all of her clothes making, sewing, all of that. She's like a designer in the Chosun dynasty, and she's like the god of all of this, and people love her, all women's and everything. That it turns out Cho-ham is the lion's name for Park Young-woo and Yeon-woo, and who happens to sneak out late at night to do her business and everything. On her way home, her mother catches her and is upset that, you need to get married. And then we learn that she's always chasing out every matchmaker her mom brings in, and she can't find a suitable man for her. She's an old maid, basically. And she leaves, mom leaves, and she's like, Yeon-woo speaks to her best friend, which is her maid, So-woo, saying that, like, she just wants to be free. She doesn't care about marriage and everything like that. So she learns that she's getting married to an old bachelor, and she's like, okay, I gotta go find who this old bachelor is. She pretends to be a maid, and she ends up in the Kang's like mansion house, and she learns that she's trying to find the old bachelor, which ends up being Kang Tae-ha, and he knows that she's his bride, but he just like plays along. They end up like meeting, encounter each other for a bit, and then however, like, we learn that they have history going way back when they were kids, and he hasn't forgotten about her. He's in love with her. Basically, they get interrupted because basically with her clothing and other people's copying her clothing is basically making like inappropriate clothing to women, and it's gotten to the princess, and the king is upset about it. And so like she's now like, okay, I have to try to find a way to put my designs out there. And then soldier chases her. She runs into Tae-ha again. They encounter each other again, and he's just like, he really likes her. And then when she gets saved and she leaves, you know, she bumps into a strange woman who tells her that their faith will meet again one day, and when they do, she has to like accept the debt she owns. You almost like confused, like I don't know what's going on. Okay, whatever. And then she finds out for her mom, she has to get prepared, she's gonna get married like that night or something, like the next day, and she's not happy, so she decides to like, you know, run away from home, packing her things. And she ends up like on her way sneaking out at night, she ends up running into Taehan again because she drops her watch, her pocket watch, and then he ends up like following her, and it's like awkward. They talk to each other about it. He returns the watch to her. She tells her it's her grandpa, it belongs to her grandpa, and he passed away, but the watch is still working perfectly fine. The watches are hinged right there. And then like she's hungry, so he goes and gets her snacks. They kind of like hang out for a bit, and he comes back, and she gets taken home because she's trying to run away from her wedding, so she has to go through with her wedding. So she's like, okay, fine. So she goes through her wedding, she gets all dressed up, and on the wedding day she finds out her husband is the ugly bachelor is Taeha. So, you know, he's like, I know you don't want to marry me, so in tradition, cutting each other's ribbon is kind of like break up, go separate ways. But because he has a severe heart problem at a young age, and basically he's gonna die, but he's just doing his wishes for his family just to get married. But he knows that she's too good for him, and he's eventually gonna die, leaving her a widow. But she's like she likes him, leading to this, meeting him a couple times. So she's like, I don't want to separate, no divorce, we're gonna be together. So she promised that whatever it is, her name means connect, they will always connect, they will be together. She will be the god of the underworld to make sure they get to be together. And so she locks the door, she doesn't let him leave, and she wants to be with him, like stay married, you know. And during that night he ends up spitting up blood, and he says he's sorry and don't cry, just like, you know, and all of that, and then he passes away. So he dies on their wedding night. Nights later, you know, everybody's blaming her that she killed her husband. His mom blames her, but she's all like, you knew that he had a heart problem and you married your son off to me, you know. So some nights later, it was a red moon, and like she doesn't even have time to mourn over her dead husband. She ends up noticing a butterfly brooch covered in blood on the ground and wonder like, okay, this is mine, how did it get here, you know. And then we flash forward to be in 2023, where now we get introduced to Kang Tae-ha, who is the CEO of like SH corporation, whatever, and he is known as a cool and ruthless person. He doesn't care about anybody, and but he's like one of like the best leaders in the new generation. And then we also see his mother, who is also his stepmother here, who is playing the same lady from back then. So everybody is the same from back then to the current. And his mother is determined to take the CEO position and making sure that he doesn't get it. So we cut to him like it's his wedding, you know, it's his wedding, and he's like, oh, you know, he faked it that he was gonna get married just so he can basically help his grandfather, pay basically in exchange for his grandfather to go through surgery to recover. He's gonna get married because his grandfather loves him so much. So during this time, the red moon and the back passed in, Yewon gets kidnapped and thrown into the well, and during this time stops because her pocket watch dropped and it broke, and the time stopped. Before she got thrown, she grabbed a branch of the flower, and then she falls into the well. She wakes up in 2023. She's in the pool trying to get out, and Kang Tae-han saves her, and she's alive. She wakes up in a strange world. She goes, oh, my husband, you're alive. And so in doing that, like, she hugs him, and his heart rate starts to like increase. So everything is still the same. He still has a heart condition in 2023, and she's convinced that like she's in the afterworld. What happened? How did she end up here? He's like, you know, in need of a bride because his bride didn't show up. So his grandfather's here. He makes rash, fast decision, and he gets her to pretend to be his wife just for the day, the wedding, so that his grandfather will go through with the surgery. She gets all dressed up and beautiful and everything like that, and he says like, you know, just pretend to be my wife and smile, and everything will go through. They get married. And they get married, and they go through their ceremony, and like, you know, he he's gonna kiss her, and but like he puts his fingers over her lips, and he says, just breathe, just hold your breath, and everything will be fine. She faints from that. Grandfather is happy that, you know, he's finally married, and he's like, you know, take care of your bride, I don't want to leave you, I don't want to disturb you guys. So grandpa leaves to his surgery. Now Yeowon wakes up, and Taehan's like, okay, we're done, you know, compensate her, there's nothing between you and I anymore. She's like, why are you doing this to me? And he's just like, you know, like, I don't know you, I'm not your husband. This is Seoul 2023. Back then there used to be the king, and down the road you could see the palace where nobody lives. It's open, go check out what you gotta check out, but we're done, you know. So on the way of like basically taking her to wherever she's from, or, you know, to the hospital, to the police station to find her identification, his secretary takes her, and she ends up seeing the big world, and she ends up like just wandering off. She just takes off, and then she just goes to explore the world, see what the hell's going on, like what world is she living in, what's going on, trying to figure everything out. And she's all like, this is the new Joseon, they're so different, everything, coloring, hairstyle, costumes, all of that. But grandpa didn't go through with his surgery. It got postponed, so Taehan needs to go back and bring Yeowon because grandpa's looking for her. So he does end up finding her, asking her to come back to be his wife a little bit longer, and then he proposed a deal that he'll compensate her to be like his wife. So he brings her back, and then like she talks everything to grandpa, all these stories, answer all his riddle, all these opportunity, getting him to let her to like liking her. So Taeha agrees to, okay, you know, we'll write an official contract and put it in writing, and you can stay with me longer until my grandfather goes through with his surgery, and then we could go separate ways. So all of that. The next day he goes to work, she wakes up, she sees the historical drama playing on TV, and she's like getting all into it. His brother Taemin appears, and the pair, like, they start like, whoa, what's going on? We bump into each other on the street. At the same time, his mom appears to his house too, and he hears all this. So Taehan rushes from work, he gets into an accident on the way, he finally makes it home, and he sees that his mom and his brother approach his wife, and Yeowon is like, oh my gosh, like, you guys are all the same people from the past. What the hell's going on, you know? And then he gets home, and he's all like, leave my wife alone, you know? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Stay away from her. And that ends it for them. But at the same time, we see Grandpa opening up a hidden cabinet, revealing a picture of Yeowon from the Joseon dynasty that Taeha drew back then. During the Joseon dynasty, when he was in love with her, he met her as a kid, he drew that. So it ends it up for there where we're like, oh, what the hell is going on, you know? So here's my guess. I really like it. I'm like, all this mystery is like, what's going on? My guess is, according to the other lady, she's kind of like a guardian deity. She's basically watching them, and their stuff repeats. So with her, her husband's supposed to die, and she's supposed to die, and then history repeats as the year goes by. But with this, the pocket watch is something to time travel, and that's how she was able to time travel back. She paused the time in the past, and that's how she got to the current time, because the pocket watch broke. I think that Taehan's grandpa is Taehan in the past. So he's lived through all of this, where he just waiting for her, or that's why he wants his grandson to get married, because he doesn't want their history to repeat of constantly dying or all of that, not being able to meet each other, be with each other, because it's always the same. Look at him and Yeowon, they meet in the past, he has a heart condition, he dies. Right now, he has a heart condition too. And so all of that. So I like the feeling that the grandpa has something to do with it too, because it's like her same grandpa from the past, and he's the one who gave her the pocket watch. So everything all crosses, and it kind of like entangle with each other. So I don't know. We have to see more to understand all this. But it's like they all tie together, and they're gonna cross path, and their faith is always meant to cross path, and it's always gonna be the same. But they have to change it because of the pocket watch stopping the time right now. They can make a difference. They're gonna make the changes. But that's that. But I really like it. I'm like, the grandpa has something to do with this. I knew it. Something like that. And then like, she also brought the the butterfly brooch from the past into the current time too. So everything in the past, she brought it to the current time. So we're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. But basically, we know they're gonna fall in love, but their path is always gonna be the same. He's gonna have a heart condition and die, but this time, what is it gonna be different? You know. And the deity guardian, I'm pretty sure she's just watching it. She can't interfere. She's giving little hints here and there, but we know she can't interfere. So I mean, I don't know what else to say besides like I like it. I'm like, okay, like what's going on, what's gonna happen, looking forward to it. And because it's 12 episodes, it's less. I know they're not going to I hope they're not going to stall all of this and just kind of get to the point, because from the first 2 episodes, they're pretty straight to the point of just getting everything out of the way, you know. So they're already in their marriage contract. We already revealed everything that is the same. We already revealed something about the grandpa and all of that. Even her maid was able to time travel from the past to the current time too. So Saru is actually in current time 2023 too. So a lot of that. So we'll see how it turns out, but I really like it, and I do look forward to see how it's gonna turn out. And honestly, to just not leave me hanging so much, I'm gonna let it kind of almost finish, then I'll watch it all in one go. But I mean, that's it for the recap review for the story of Park's marriage contract. If you guys want to know how the drama turns out, leave a comment and I will do an indie review for you guys. But that's it for today's drama, and I will see you guys next time.